Madam Chair, Senator Hann, have you looked at how the establishment of the healthcare exchanges would somehow integrate or work with this approach? Have you spoken to the commissioner about that? Do you have any sense about that?
Senator Hann.
Madam Chair and Senator Bonofff, I've not spoken to the Commissioner specifically about this bill and its interaction with a potential insurance exchange. In talking with some of the people in the insurance industry, they believe that the exchanges, or that the idea of the exchange would work well with this structure. There is some uncertainty about exactly what the federal government is going to require under the insurance exchanges, so there is, I think, it may be difficult to make a clear answer or a definitive answer to that question. As I understand it, I don't think there's anything that we're proposing here that would be in conflict with at least some idea of what an insurance exchange would require, but I guess I don't have a clear answer for that.
A follow-up, Senator Bonofff.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. And Senator Hann, and with regard to the high deductible, do you think that you could, in your conversations with the plans, have any impact in their offerings, and what's your intent in terms of going forward? Do you want to work some of these things out, or is it your plan to just move this bill as is?
Senator Hann.
Madam Chair and Senator Bonofff, this bill is also making its way through the other body, and I'm not sure where they are exactly in that process. I think they have made some modifications in their side to what the bill is. We are trying to accomplish, I guess, generally, as we said, a change in direction. We are very concerned about the affordability of the structure that we have going forward. Whenever you talk about defining a fixed benefit set, I think you raise cost to everyone in the course of doing that. We think that setting up a structure that allows for underwriting and the ability to use the marketplace is, in the long term, the best way to create incentives to drive costs down. I know in talking to the Hospital Association, they were suggesting that we perhaps put some upper limit on what the deductible might be, and that's certainly an approach that has been talked about. We have not adopted it in this bill. I think from my perspective, what we want to try to do is create the maximum amount of freedom for people to make choices about what is right for them and give them a contribution amount that would permit them to do that. And again, as I understand it, the deductible amounts primarily apply when a person gets into a hospitalization situation. So meeting those deductibles, there is an exposure, I think maybe more so than what you have under Minnesota Care, but on the upper end, there is not the exposure that we have. So there is a trade-off in approach here, and I understand that, and I'm not trying to, make the case that this does everything that Minnesota Care does in the same way. But what we are trying to make a case for is that we have to do some things differently. We have to do something that is affordable. I think it's telling that in the governor and his approach at looking at the budget, his election was to deny coverage to a certain portion of people that we're saying we can cover. It may not be coverage in exactly the same way, but we would argue that the form of coverage that we're proposing here is better than no coverage at all, which I think is apparently the alternative that the governor has taken.